Anusha, I'm sorry to cut you short there. Shatapa Paul is also joining us, one of the women who had also spoken up as far as the entire Me Too movement is concerned. She had also narrated her experience, and I want to go across to her quickly to understand her feelings today as MJ Akbar's criminal defamation case has fallen against Priya Ramani, and she has been acquitted by the court. Shatapa.
Yeah, well, it's great news. I think me along with all the other ladies who have spoken about this and have raised a voice in the Me Too campaign. We're extremely happy. We're so proud of Priya and very grateful because it's been 2 years that, that she has been fighting this absolutely baseless, ridiculous criminal defamation case. And a lot of thanks also to Rebecca John and her team. I think it's a wonderful defense that they put forward, and we are very happy. It would have been a shame if it had not gone in Priya's favor because, as she has said time and again, whatever she put out was for public good. And I'm so glad. I'm personally so grateful that Priya raised her voice, and even when the judge had suggested that they go in for a settlement, she stood her ground and refused it. And I'm so glad with the verdict, and this is going to go a long way to ensuring that women are not scared to raise their voice and ensuring safe work places so that more women participate in the public domain.
But Shatapa, before I let you go, what would you say about the responsibility that comes with making allegations in the public forum? I think that also goes hand in hand with being able to speak out.
So look, absolutely. But here, what we are looking at, this is a case where Priya's especially, she narrated something which was many years old, and since there were around 30 odd women who came forward to also share similar incidents, it's not about 1 or 2 cases. We are talking 30 plus people who've come across news organizations and across timelines. We're looking at people coming in with experiences from the 90s to even 2010, 2011. So it's a huge, it's very many years and very many cases. However, I do understand and appreciate about the responsibility factor that you have raised. I think today there is more awareness of what is sexual harassment. I think today most women professionals are, they know what their rights are. People are talking more about it. So if there are cases like this, today there will be a proper recourse, for the women to take it up with internal committees or to go the right way and file a complaint. I think today we are well equipped to move forward with the kind of responsibility that you're talking about. But in this particular case, as I said, this is a very old case that has, old incident that was being brought up. And end of the day, all we wanted was for Priya to not pay the price for raising a voice or to write an article which had just a cursory mention. And a defamatory, any kind of defamation is a way of silencing the voice of people, in this case, women in particular. So we are very, we're very happy.
I can understand. I can understand. I have some more questions for you. And you're right that in this case, it was not just Priya Ramani, it was several women. So it did lend more credence to the fact that 30 plus people were saying the same thing, and I think the court has observed that. But I do want to ask you 2 things. One, did you feel some kind of pressure over the last 3 years or the last 2 years since the Me Too movement exploded?
No pressure. I can't speak for anyone else, but I did not face any pressure.
Okay. So can I just also ask you, finally, Shatapa, before I let you go, do you think the Me Too movement managed to achieve what it set out to?
I'm very sad to say what I'm about to say, but I don't think it has made as much dent in India as it may have made in the US. For instance, the US saw very many more, kind of probes and investigations and people being hauled up and held accountable for their behavior, whether it was a recent one or even like a legacy issue, which has been with certain high-profile individuals in the U.S. In India, while there is greater awareness, I can tell you that many of my former colleagues, male colleagues, bosses, media owners, company owners, I think they are now more aware and more open to ensuring a safe, unbiased, diverse workplace, and where, sexual harassment has no place. While that is a wonderful achievement of this movement, we do see that a lot of people who were in the news because of various allegations have been rehabilitated. They are writing columns, they are coming on shows, they are accepting awards. So not really sure, and that too after no kind of apology or acceptance of their despicable behavior. So while I'm all for people having a fresh start, I think many times we need to recognize that there is some accountability for their actions, and in India we don't seem to see that.
This verdict will perhaps go many ways in ensuring that people do think about that their actions, their words in the workplace, especially when you enjoy a more powerful position versus your subordinate, they all have grave implications. And I think that is the real crux of the Me Too movement, that people should understand that what they say, even in passing, can have a huge impact, especially at the workplace and especially in terms of sexual references. I want to go across to Suparna Sharma, also one of the complainants in the Me Too movement and a survivor. Suparna, your first thoughts on Priya Ramani being acquitted by the court?
Oh, my first thought is to burst into tears and start clapping. It was a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous judgment. And I just want to say it's really, really an important judgment because it comes after 3 years of kind of continuous setbacks to this Me Too movement.
Yes.
So it's a moment of big victory. So many women have been silenced, their cases kind of buried. And, this is again one big ray of hope. And the most important thing is that a man like MJ Akbar lost, and he should really now resign his Rajya Sabha post. So those are my first
You're
thoughts.
asking for his resignation from the Rajya Sabha.
He should. I mean, he contended that his reputation is stellar, which the court held. It's not a defense, and it also upheld what Priya had said, that his reputation isn't stellar. So more than 20 women have accused him of sexual harassment, sexual abuse, including rape. He should resign. How can he walk into Rajya Sabha? I mean, that's morally wrong. He should resign. He lost today.
Right. Just a word about Priya Ramani as well, how she upheld herself and how she continued this fight, because several people suggested that she was picked on, even though there were graver allegations made against MJ Akbar, but she was the one who was dragged to court.
Yeah, so I think it was, I think maybe MJ Akbar's misfortune in a sense that he picked on Priya Ramani because she's up for a fight. She's a fighter and she fought. This continuous travel to Delhi with the little kid at home, And the other thing I think very important, apart from who she was, and she herself is such a senior journalist, such a fabulous journalist, that a lot of women rallied around her because maybe because of the fact that she had hardly even touched not even the tip of the iceberg of what MJ Akbar has done to women. So I think that enraged women even more who had been sexually harassed, and they rallied around her and they supported her. I mean, today everybody was in tears in court as the judgment was progressing, and I mean, I've got messages from Sushita saying I'm crying and throwing up. So it's a very, very, very important day, and I don't have words to describe.
Yes. Can I request you to stay with us? I want to go across to my colleague Anusha just very briefly once again as more and more reactions continue to come in. And there is, of course, a sense of great relief and elation. But Anusha, what more would you like to highlight from the verdict that has come out?
I'd only be interested to see, Shivani, if this verdict is further challenged at a higher court in the country, whether MJ Akbar wants to drag this legal battle any further, because this won't be just about the courts. This will largely be about a battle of public perception, and that is what this defamation case has been all about. As I've been reiterating, this was not a civil defamation suit, it was a criminal defamation suit. So if Priya Ramani was found guilty under criminal defamation, there was a chance that she could have to pay fine or undergo imprisonment, a simple imprisonment. However, she's been acquitted. There is a larger message coming in from the judiciary that, the sort of instances or crimes or sexual harassment that happened about 2 decades ago, when there were no Vishakha guidelines, you did not have prevention of sexual harassment mechanism at various workplaces. If women are coming out, there are credible stories backed up by various other testimonies of something that has happened, the courts would take it very seriously, and they cannot be pinned down by defamation suits. That's the larger message coming in.
We've got Sandhya Menon also joining us, one of the complainants. Sandhya, I want to hear from you too. There is a lot of jubilation in everyone who was really looking out for this verdict because of what it could mean for the Me Too movement. Sandhya, can you hear me? Okay, I don't think she can